Hey everyone, Evan here from Vent Vision. We're going to be going over a couple methods of how to clean a dryer vent. First thing we're going to do, no matter what the method is come to the inside, inspect the machine for any damage, the floor for any damage, so we can point that out to the customer so they don't think we caused any damage. Next thing we're going to do is take a look behind the dryer, see if there's an excessive amount of lint, check the integrity of the transition vent, and make sure that's all up to code with no leaks. Next thing we're going to do is turn on the dryer. We're always going to turn it on air dry. You do not want to risk turning it on heat dry and having a thermal fuse blow, because that can happen, as crazy as that sounds. So we're going to set this on air dry. That means no heat. There's no risk of damaging the dryer. And from here, we're going to go head to the outside and see how it's blowing. All right, we are at the termination. The dryer is blowing pretty good. I typically don't like to use an anemometer just because depending how you angle it, the reading could be so different. So I kind of like to base it off my hand. You can see there's a decent amount of lint buildup there in the cover. So nonetheless, first method we're going to be doing is a vacuum from the inside. So while the dryer's on, I'm going to take a clip, I'm going to hold that damper open, so now when I go to the inside and hook up the vacuum, it can suck in air from the outside to maximize that airflow and no risk of collapsing the vent. Alright, now that we have the damper clamped open, we're going to move the dryer to get ready for the cleaning. So to do so, we're going to slide this under the dryer. Now that we have it under the dryer, we can tilt it forward and slide it back without damaging the floor. Alright, next thing we're going to do is measure and inspect the vent with our camera. So we're going to turn the camera and watch on. Just stick it in the vent slowly so we can inspect and measure at the same time. Alright, so to clean it, we're going to take our VacVision Mini. This is going to give us a visual of what's going to come out and allow us to hook up the vacuum for mess-free cleaning. So our rod will stick through here. You will hook up the brush, stick that in. It'll go in here nice and tightly. We are now going to hook up our vacuum hose, turn on the vacuum, and start cleaning the vent. Alright, next method we're going to show is from the outside, but with the vacuum hooked up. So the same process goes from before. We hook up the vacuum. Now we're on the outside. We have it clamped open, and we're going to send the camera in to measure and inspect the vent. So we're going to start recording. Alright, that's all the way to our vacuum adapter, about half of the last rod. So we're going to pull it out. Turn our camera and monitor off. We are going to swap the camera for the brush. Can you hand me that brush? Thank you. We're going to put the brush into the vent about one rod's length. Then we are going to leave all the rods together, hook it up to our drill, and get them inside the vent. Hand me my drill. So we have the drill on speed 1, clutch 4. I'm going to angle it out, and it should be able to go all the way in. And just like that, we have a clean dryer vent without making a mess. Alright, now that the dryer vent is cleaned and hooked back up, last thing we're going to do is clean out the lint filter area. Now that that's cleaned out and put back together, we're going to turn the dryer back on air dry, start it up, and see how that airflow is looking. Alright, vent is nice and clean, blowing nice and strong. We'll just clean that a little bit more. But that's it. That's a full cleaning of a dryer vent, not too complicated. A couple options on how to do it.